I might turn that down just a smidge. Like the smallest of smidges. Here we are. It's time. We're so close to the release of Sandolphin. Tomorrow. Holy crap. 2.0 is right around the corner. 0 here. And before we get started with the glorious season of Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising, I want to take time to make some review of the patch notes. The intro is here. It's live. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate the time that you spent doing this. To hang out with me, I will, of course, have everything time-stamped as I usually do. But let's get into it here. I have to make a blue sky. I have to put it out there. Make sure I got that. I'm at Zero Syndicate on Blue Sky, just like I am here on Twitter and Twitch. And post. Okay. Here we go. Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising 2.0 notes. Sandolphin joins the fight. Let's make some early predictions here. My early prediction is, I've been saying this for a little bit, Belial doesn't get touched much. Beatrix doesn't get touched much. 6 doesn't get touched much. Siegfried, I think, is left alone. We buff Beelzebub. We buff Zooey, and it's not just because of the costumes. I think they generally need some help. Vikala, we know, does get buffed. We know Vikala does get changed up a little bit here in a positive way. That was from the... Yeah, I should probably preface that. So Frosty Fostings, we got to play a little bit of what that build looked like. That includes Sandolphin. Well, there's also, I just saw a character guide for Sandolphin. We'll go over that after the patch note review. I don't think Gran gets changes here. Gran might be okay. My hope is Vane gets buffed. I think Vane needs a buff. And I hope that's about it. I think that's about my big ones. I think out of the top tiers that get messed around with, Siegfried is most likely to get tackled. But I don't think he changes much at all, really. So here we go. New DLC character. Of course, Sandolphin added. Sandolphin added as a premium avatar, music track, weapon skins. We'll be hearing Sandolphin's track, and there's the character guide. It was posted yesterday. I'll be watching that in a bit here. Battles and online matches. Level cap has increased from 1,000 to 2,000, and new rewards have been added beyond level 500. Okay. Canon Shrine has been added. Survival mode. New backgrounds. Cool. Fast forward feature added replays. Add the option to set opponent character illustrations to always display as a default for online matches under battle settings. Added the option to set hold inputs, the charge inputs, to on or off or quarter forward. Interesting. The setting applies to following characters and skills: Charlotta, Shining Onslaught, Vasaraga, Battalions of Fear, and Eustace, Flamek Thunder. Added the option to set hold, the charge down and up options to either on or off. This setting applies to Charlotta, Holy Ladder, Anre, Fleeting Spark, Eustace, Slow Kill, 6, Empty Hand. Interesting. Really? I'm learning something new. Hold on. Well, I'll be damned. I didn't realize. I didn't know. Color me shocked. I did not know that empty hand was charged. My bad, chat. I've always been doing the simple input for it. That's fascinating. That it was a... cool. I'm a fraud. I didn't know. Added the option to toggle between technical and simple inputs for SBAs and SSBAs with some specific exceptions. As a result of this change, technical inputs option now only applies to skills. Okay. Online matchups will now cancel if a player does nothing for a set period of time on the battle results screen. Okay. Crew feature. Newly added crew feature allows players to create and join crews, connect fellow players. All right, so some social stuff. Unique player IDs have been added. Players can use IDs to search for and invite other players to their crew. Room matches. Online training feature has been added. Available at stations that have been set as training stations via room settings. Nice. That's actually pretty cool to do online trading mode. I've never really been the biggest proponent of asking for it. I certainly understand why you would want online trading mode. I think it makes sense. I just have never personally been in a situation where I was like, you know what, I wish I had this. I think there was a point in time where I was very much, I wish we had online trading mode, but I personally don't have use. But I know there are uses for it. You have to create a room and find a room have been updated. Shark to Glory minigame. Character colors added to the shop. Weapon skins, illustrations, stages. Oh yeah, and so special content. The costumes. Beelzebub conquers Carapace. That's a new costume for Beelzebub. Is now available as rupees. The previous Battle Pass costumes are now available. Narmaya and Zeta. Unlock character Sandolphin. See, they're carrying this forward here that DLC characters are now available through rupees. I mean, they always have been, but they're adding Sandolphin to this. Which, by the way, the game is $30 right now. If you're watching this for the deluxe edition that includes the entirety of the base roster for Gran Blue. In fact, let me double check how long that sale goes. At the time of recording, it is the 25th of... Oh, I can start my... Why can't I start my patch download now? Wasn't it supposed to go out tomorrow? Am I crazy? Yeah, Sandolphin comes out tomorrow. Why can't I download the patch right now? What do you mean? Anyway. Yeah, it's Games February sale. Wow. All right. So up until March 11th. It is currently the 25th of February. Until March 11th, you can get the entire roster of Gran Blue Fantasy versus Rising up to Vikala for $30 right now. That's USD. So definitely, or if you just want the base cast, it's $20. I highly recommend getting the whole setup here. Oh, the Sandolphins thing. That's pretty cool. Let me turn this one down a bit. Dude, I might be playing Sandolphin's theme all the time. Hold on. All right. Grand Brews changes. We're good on that. Good on bug fixes. Battle character adjustments. All right, so building upon the adjustments, this is the meat and potatoes of where we're at here. Building upon the adjustments made in 1.5. Primary focus of this update is to further refine and balance the risk-reward aspects of gameplay, making necessary improvements to enhance overall game balance. For all characters, we have implemented changes to brave counters, invincible skills, and counters. Specifically, we have increased the reward for players who successfully anticipate and block or evade these moves, thereby making such actions riskier to perform. Fair. Brave counters are a universal action that, despite costing bravery points to perform, have been highly effective and powerful reversal option. While it is possible to block a brave counter, blocking will still result in frame disadvantage, leading to scenarios where players would counter brave counters with their own, creating a loop that undermines strategic gameplay involving bravery points. I'm a little torn on that. I agree with what you're saying, absolutely, but also, if that's the risk that you want to take to maintain your offensive pressure, I don't think that's like the worst. I don't know. To address this issue while preserving the effectiveness of brave counters as a reversal tool, we have adjusted them to grant frame advantage to the blocking player. The properties of brave counters on hit and counter hit remain unchanged. I guess obviously there is truth to the fact that if you hit brave counter, then it was your turn. That's kind of like, especially after the opponent blocks it, that makes it a very rewarding ability to have. So yeah, we'll see how much. I think it is -2. We found that out at Frosty, so we'll see if that holds true. We'll see how it works out in play. I think it'll take some adjusting to get used to muscle memory, but for the most point, I don't think it's a bad change, for sure. We have implemented adjustments to skills with invincibility, including armored invincibility on startup, as well as certain skills with guard point properties and skills that counter incoming attacks, including Skybound Arts, Super Skybound Arts. Previously, skills were difficult to punish even when successfully blocked or dodged. To address this, we have adjusted their frame advantage and pushback on block, making them easier to punish. Additionally, to increase the inherent risk of performing these actions, any hits taken during their recovery will now count as counter hits. The goal of these changes is to ensure that players who successfully defend or evade these powerful skills are appropriately rewarded. Cool. I'm so bothered by... I get bothered by my mic appearing on camera. So I have to make adjustments. I have to. I got to. Sorry. I got to. It bothers me. I was set up and I can't. Some folks can have their mic on cam, and then I just get bothered when mine is. I put it right back in cam, didn't I? Sure did. Anyway. Any hits taken during the recovery will now count as counter hits. Thank goodness, you know. The goal of these changes is to ensure that players who successfully defend or evade these powerful skills are appropriately rewarded. Absolutely. If you rip a DP and I block it, you die. That's how it should be. Character balance as a result of these universal adjustments. Some characters may have become relatively stronger, while others may be significantly affected. With these potential outcomes in mind, we've also implemented some individual changes to characters to maintain overall game balance. On the whole, we have reduced the effectiveness of characters who possess overwhelming strengths, actions that were difficult to punish, or skills where the rewards heavily outweighed the risks. These changes are aimed at improving the overall competitive environment. Conversely, characters and mechanics that struggle to find their footing have been enhanced, focusing on increasing their utility. In line with the extensive adjustments made in version 1.5, this update introduces significant changes to the game's overall balance. We will continue to fine-tune as needed, incorporating player feedback to guide future adjustments. Nice. All right, here we go. So system-wide, Brave counter, reducing frame advantage from +6 to -2. It's fine. You can still steal a turn back if you want. So that's DP action if a character has it. But that's also adding to the risk that you have, which then turns into the, well, your invincible skill, now punishable. Skills with invincibility on startup, but now counter-hittable until the end of the action. Individual changes for each character have not been included in these patch notes. For information which skills for each character have invincibility, please refer to display attack properties for each skill in the character guide. Which, by the way, PSA, come here, bring it in, chat. PSA, this is still blurry. And I have my green screen on still. I'll have to fix that in a second. PSA, character guide. Hey, maybe you're new to Gran Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. I want to give you a quick tip. If you are brand new to the game, or you're looking into a brand new character, check out the character guide. In character guide, they have a full breakdown of what the character is capable of and what it can do. And if you're unsure of how to combo with your character, it gives you plenty of great combo starters. In training mode, you just hit that start button. There should be that character guide option in the menu. Select it, and you can even go right to those combo trials and test them out for yourself. Feel free to check out every character's guide. They even give you a breakdown and utilization of each special move in the command list. It's a critical part of getting started in Gran Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. Welcome to Season 2. Fingers crossed Zooey gets huge buffs to unapologetic top 1 autopilot. I wouldn't be mad. I said at the top, I hope she gets buffs. Oh, yes. Listen to that transition. I need to go to studio mode right quick here so I can turn off the green screen. Left it on from when I was doing comms. There we go. Okay. Invincible skills, including SBA and SSBA. Now counter-hittable during recovery, does not apply to ultimate skills. Oh, we just did this one. Yeah. Oh, no. This was the next paragraph. Individual changes for each character have been included. Read the guide. Skybound arts and super skybound arts are now counter-hittable until end of action. Perfect. This is perfect. I love it. Counter skills. Now counter-hittable during recovery. Does not apply to ult skills. Individual changes for each character. Character guide. Great. Combo limit no longer resets on hit. This takes care of the Cagliostro combo. This is the most immediate example. So Cagliostro will not get the combo limit reset off of doing the super. Invincible skills, Skybound art, recovery frames, or pushback have been adjusted for skills that were difficult to counter after blocking. There are a few characters that get a little tricky to try to punish or challenge if you block their SBA. Here we go, starting from the top. Gran. Simple to use character with straightforward skills, since his offense tended to have a relative lack of variability. Regenlev, his Skybound art, Tempest Blade, have been adjusted. Jeez, shush with the ad. Have been adjusted to improve the range of his space control. Oh, whoa! Regenlev launches counter hit on light. Medium Regenlev, projectile long launches foes on counter hit. And heavy. Don't get counter hit by Gran. Lateral knockback reduced, make it easier to follow up on mid-air and counter hits. Overdrive surge, light to heavy follow up, lateral knockback increase to match that of standard heavy overdrive surge. Startup for the second hit has been reduced by 2 frames, making it easier to follow up into a combo from further away. Catastrophe universal adjustment, so catastrophe pushback reduced, so easier to punish off a super being blocked. Djeeta, only bug fixes, universal adjustments. Skyfall bug fix, fixed an issue where Djeeta could not cancel the startup of Eternal Ascendancy into Skyfall if Eternal Ascendancy was performed with technical input. Okay. Katalina. Woo! Yep. Let's go. I hope this lady gets a little bit touched for this one. So in patch 1.5, Katalina's light wall was significantly improved. Sure was. It's cool. It's really cool. To curb the amount of distance gained by combos, including the use of light wall, the distance she travels with light wall front step has been shortened. Yeah. As a result, uncharged light wall front step midstream can now only be followed up by far standing L. I feel bad on that one. It's not fair that no matter what, in the previous version, she would just get coast to coast carry. Swear to God, if this patch is out right now, like, why did they let me download 6 gigs right now? I'm very confused. What's in this deluxe pass? I get the colors and weapon skins. What about the regular pass? You don't get the colors in the regular pass. That's it? That's all there is? Yeah, you just get color variants. Are they not available? Six kids of Zooey buffs? Damn, that's crazy. Right here. So I thought I heard something else. Sorry. Look at like another. Do I have another video of it? No, I don't. What's the difference? It gets the stage. I think the stage comes with a regular character pass too. No, it doesn't. But hold on. Sorry, I'll be back in a second for Katalina. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 5 to 21 are available through Rupee Shop. Character construct. Yeah, the stage is also in Rupee Shop. Okay, no, I could just get the regular pass, and I'll be fine. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Regular pass.
Just found this.
That's amazing. I'm not worried about your sequin dress, anyways. Okay, back to Gran. Or Katalina, excuse me. Since you, Frozen Blade, gained increased reward across all distances in patch 1.5, the recovery time has been increased to make it more disadvantaged if blocked or evaded. Katalina's ability to follow it up on hit has not changed. Perfect. Now causes the screen to pause briefly when blocking a foe's attack. This change doesn't have an impact on frame advantage. It's only intended to make it easier to tell when an attack was successfully blocked. Okay, that's cool. Now stops more quickly when using front step to approach the foe after light wall slash attack, resulting in her no longer being able to follow up with close range attacks mid-screen. That's great. It's not fair that she got that. That no matter what, if I touched you, then I got full coast to coast. So this is fine. It's better. It looked cool, but it was admittedly really good. You, Frozen Blade, block stun has been increased. I kind of wish I kept it though. I don't know if she needs that much. I appreciate it though. I'm still torn on that one. Block stun is increased by 1 frame for Frozen Blade. Recovery has also been increased by 7 frames, changing total frame advantage from +2 to -4. Hit stun has been increased by 7 frames from 24 to 31. Changes intended to prevent changes to follow-up actions due to the increased recovery frames above. Recovery on whiff and block has been increased by 6 frames, changing frame advantage to -13 for Blades of Frost. Blades of Frost. Blades of... Oh, her SBA? Wait, it's not even listed. Oh, I think I hit SSBA. Not bad. All right, Charlotta JU was relatively difficult to utilize. Her light holy ladder had a few use cases. Both have been improved. To make it easier to combo jumping you on hit, singular frame sometimes the appropriate fix. You get it, but a lot of times it's like, I don't spend that whole frame at the same frame store. Well, this is, no, it changes like the block sum from 1 frame, right? So if I block it, I'm blocking for 25 frames, but because the recovery of Frozen Blade yeah, sick. It's not changed yet in Dustloop. So block stun, if the recovery now previously was 17 frames, is what it was. So now we changed the recovery by 7 frames, so that does mean we're at 24 frames, right? So hold on. I'm trying to math right now, and it's my worst subject. So on block, they're doing it so you're at -4 because that increase of recovery. But wait, then that would mean I should be at... Show me the stats for nerds. Did they update it? No. It's a mixture of both that makes it so it goes to -4. So just increase the block stun by 1. Not so bad, but increase the recovery by 7. And if these are the old stats, which I believe it is, you're up to 3, 4, yeah, so 24 frames of recovery. So it puts you at a -4 situation. I'm thinking about this way too hard. Oh, because the next sentence helps me. So hit stun has been increased by 7 frames, 24 to 31. I'm not reading this right at all. It's very different on Dustloop. Frozen Blade? Yeah, alt Frozen Blade. 85 frame advantage. I'm gonna move on. You get the -4. Because the way Dustloop has that math listed is confusing me now. So startup 16, active 8, total of 40 frames. Recovery is 17 frames. We're adding 7 frames to recovery, so that'd be 24 frames of recovery. Block stun is up to 25. No. I'm trying to understand how they wrote this on Dustloop as compared to what we have here. Because if it's increased by 1 frame, I'm trusting this math. I'm going to trust this math more than I trust Dustloop math, but we'll see it later. Because it should be, if it's increasing to 25, over -4, that should mean that adding 7, so it was previously 22? Yeah, that makes sense. It was previously 22 frames of blocks. Or, no, 22 frames to recover. So you are at +4. Or +2, excuse me. If you're at 22 frames to recover, you're at +2 in block and frame advantage. But now we're increasing by 7 frames. So, yeah, okay, all right. This makes sense. This makes sense. So you increase by 1 because you had to start out at 22 frames of recovery. Dustloop looks weird. And they're doing different math. Probably based on positioning. I mean, they still have the +2 block stun, but it says that there was 17 frames of recovery. Which, if they're at 17, they're doing 8 startups. I think that's what they're doing. I think they're doing the recovery, and then they took 5 active frames away from the recovery. Like, how are they doing? Anyway, Cat got touched a little bit. Sorry. I'm trying to really compute how Dustloop broke that down. Charlotta's jump U. To make it easier to combo JU, knockback when used with a vertical or backward jump has been reduced. You're 5 magic stacks. Don't worry, we're here to learn and understand. That's what we're here for. The landing recovery for Light Holy Ladder has been decreased in order to reduce its risk if blocked. Additionally, in order to allow players to better take advantage of its high clash level, it's now easier to follow up when hitting or counter hitting at height, making it a more effective combo piece and anti-air. All right, so knockback when used with a vertical or backward jump is reduced. Frame advantage. Downward strike no longer hits grounded foes until the third active frame. This change is intended to prevent frame advantage differences between standing and crouching foes. Frame advantage for standing and crouching blocks has been adjusted to -4. Pushback for the second hit has been increased. Charlotta will not be pushed back when blocked near the corner, however. Okay. So it's more punishable if you're being bullied in the corner. Recovery on block for the downward strike has been increased by 8 frames for the universal, changing frame advantage when crouch block from -7 to -15. Hit stop for downward strike has been increased by 4 frames. This particular change doesn't have an impact on frame advantage. It's only intended for visual clarity. Holy Ladder Heavy. Recovery on block for the downward strike has been increased by 8 frames, changing frame advantage when crouch block from -7 to -15. Hit stop for the downward strike increased by 4. Okay. Just all keeping up with the universal adjustment that she's going to take more damage for her and make it easier to punish off of these reversals. Brilliant Moon, pushback reduced. Yeah, so Super's got pushback reduced. Not a lot of changes to Charlotta. Lance, only bug fixes, universal adjustments were made. Could not use Delta Leap on his next jump after getting hit with an attack that forces grounded state. Oh no! Weissflugel. Recovery on whiff and block has been increased by 1 frame. Wait, Weissflugel? Which one is Weissflugel? What's his super? No, his turbulence got to be counter-hittable. Come on now. I ain't gonna stress about that. Only bug fixes with Perci. Oh, crazy! No changes for Perci. No changes for Ladiva. Crazy. Metera. Oh. Metera. Metera's forte is long-range combat to give her an easier time in making the best of situations. We've reduced the startup of Starry Sky High and Starry Sky Low. Making them easier to combo into for Metera's long-range normal attacks. Really? Additionally, the Great Fall can now be used even if the projectile from light, medium, heavy version is still on the screen. What? What? Huh. Allowing her to counterattack a much wider range of situations. She just gets better defense. Reduce startup of Far H to 13. All right. They want her to be a more effective zoner. Clearly. Great Fall initial vertical hitbox has been expanded. What's wrong with my character fast right now? The same changes made in version 1.5 to make it easier to follow up into a combo. We've made some additional adjustments for stability. Let's go. And Gran Blue's updated. Sick. U Great Fall can now be used even if projectile is out from regular Great Falls. No longer negates projectiles after a close range hit. This is a fixed issue where the foe could move during the clash animation. Oh. Fixed an issue where Ethereal Seal's visual effect would disappear despite having a hitbox if Metera was hit after triggering. Pushback on block has been reduced from Rapid Pulverize. Oh, that's the, yeah, super. Okay. Lowain, only universal adjustments were made this patch. That's crazy. crazy. This is a character I thought for sure would get duffed. Just a little bit, but no, Laway comes out scot-free. Ferry. Ferry's normals have been improved with the aim of bolstering her mid-range pressure. We reduced the startup and recovery of far-standing L and crouch M, making them less risky if evaded, as well as improving her ability to keep foes from closing in. Oh. The startup and recovery of far-standing M has also been reduced. Oh, standing and crouching, all right. In addition, the forward hurt box of the first 2 active frames has been shortened, and the clash level has been increased. This should make it more difficult for opponents to interrupt with pokes. Really? They made her stronger in the zoning range. Not Metera. Interesting. Similarly, for far-standing H, the forward hurt box prior to the hitbox activation has been shortened and the clash level has been increased, also making it more difficult for opponents to interrupt with pokes. Okay. Clash level increased to match crouching H, although allowing it to be aerial attacks and be more effective as an anti-air. That's close end. Dang. Far L startup has been reduced from 8 to 7 frames. Follow from crouch L and dash L is unchanged. Recovery has been reduced by 3 frames. Changing the frame advantage from -5 to -2. Startup for far standing M reduced to 9 frames, a little bit faster. We're just dropping 1 frame on everything here. That seems to be, and I talked about this with Khalil over the weekend. Of just, I'm glad that they make these incremental changes and not just taking a sledgehammer to everything. So that's cool. Forward hurt box, the first 2 active frames shortened. Yeah, clash level far standing H startup reduced by 2 frames. 2M startup reduced to 11. Recovery reduced by 2 frames to give advantage to 9 -9. Hit stun on the first 10 hits has been increased by 1 frame from 3 to 4. This change makes blocking foes unable to brave counter until the 9th hit, and Ferry will no longer be counter hit. Okay. Ghost Swing fixed an issue where Ferry could not use Ghost Swing on her next jump after getting hit with an attack versus grounded state. Hit stop reduced by 1 frame. For Trombe 5U. Or no, just U Trombe? Yeah, that's not 5U. That's her back special. The hula hoop. Zeta. For Zeta, we've increased the launch height on the downward follow-ups for Heavy Spear of Arvis to soften execution and timing requirements when using combos. We've also reduced the parry frames for the light, medium, heavy versions of Rhapsody, thus requiring follow-ups to be input earlier. This should give Zeta's opponents more room for counter play. Thank God. Fixed an issue where Zeta could not use JU on her next jump after ground. It's interesting that happens so much. Launch height for Spear of Arvis follow-up has been increased. That's to make it combo a little bit easier. Parry frames reduced from 3 to 42 to 3 to 20. Holy smokes. Dude. Oh no. Hits taken during recovery now count as counter hits from Crimson Cleave. That's light ender for Rhapsody, medium ender for Rhapsody, and heavy ender of Rhapsody. Only universal adjustments were made in this patch for Vasaraga. Of course, Vasaraga does not need any changes here. I think Vasaraga's, honestly, I'll be so real, 1.5 puts so many characters in a solid spot. I'd be hard pressed to change anybody really. There's some light changes we do, but Narmaya. The significant changes to Narmaya's U transient in patch 1.5 made it difficult to understand the skill's strengths. So we're adjusting it again by shortening the forward hurt box for startup frames 11 to 13 and making it invincible from frame 14 until the end of the action. Should give her a clear offensive option to use against projectiles at long range. Forward hurt box for startup frames 11 to 13 has been shortened. Now invincible from frame 14 until end of the action. Nice. Soriz, no changes. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. That character just annoys me. He's so good. You can't change him. He's fine. Zooey. All right, praying for Zooey here. Let's see if Zooey got some goodness. In patch 1.5, we adjusted Zooey's jump U to make it an easier inclusion in combos. As one should. JU is really good. It's such a cool button. This time, we're following up on that by adjusting its hitbox so that it whiffs less frequently. We've also removed the pushback on Zooey during Summon Dragon Heavy Breath. Previously chaining normal attacks on the Heavy Breath could sometimes leave her too far to continue the combo. Okay. For Summon Dragon, Sweeping Beam. The mid-air hit recovery for all but the final hit has been increased by 20 frames. Check the Dragon Breath. The vertical hitbox expanded inward for JU. What did it look like before? Huh. Counter hit now knocks foes back. Nice. Zoe's no longer pushed back during active frames. That's the medium Summon Dragon. Sweeping Beam. Area recovery on hit for all, but the final hit has been reduced by 20 frames from 40 to 60. It's intended to make it easier to follow up a close range hit even if the final hit doesn't land. The final hit already had 60 frames in area recovery and is therefore unchanged. For the Heavy Breath, changes intended to make it easier to follow up in the corner. I felt it was already really easy to combo in the corner. You mean tell me it's going to be easier? No complaints. This change is intended to fix behavior counter hits when foes are behind Zooey if it hits. Okay. Interesting. Hit stop at the final hit is 5 by 5 frames, 2025 for aerial spinning slash. Block stun on the final hit has been increased by 5 frames, changing frame advantage from -10 to -15. Cagliostro. I don't know if this is a character you need to change a lot, but let's see. In patch 1.5, we toned down Cagliostro's spare body. Yes, that was excellent. Powerful invincible reversal. However, we found that it's still relatively difficult to punish compared to the U version of other characters' reversals, so we're increasing its recovery to bring it more in line with the average. Can't get fucked. No. Due to Ars Magna resetting the combo limit, yep, it was previously possible for Cagliostro to continue comboing after his SBA. To match the behavior of other characters, Ars Magna no longer resets combo limit. That's the universal change they made. Recovery increased by 10 frames. -40 on spare body is insane. Combo limit no longer resets for super. Everything's coming with Cag. Pushback on block reduced. Cag's in trouble ever so slightly. Let's see some reward for you all, huh? To increase reward of 2L during third dance, we've increased the mid-air hit recovery and launch height. For the same reason, it can now be followed up with medium third dance. Attack during the second half of the action on hit or on block. Additionally, we've increased the parry window for Eye of the Sparrow to make the timing for countering opponent attacks more lenient. Okay. Whoa! Whoa! Sorry, whoa! Whoa! Trying to like ever so slightly adjust the volume. It will now also hit invincible opponents, giving Yuel more counterplay against invincible skills. The total skill animation is unchanged. Is that right? For Eye of the Sparrow. No, that's the When blocked at close range, Starlit Sky left Yuel at frame disadvantage. Good, meaning she was off forced to make high-risk choices such as chaining into Hanarashi. We've increased the pushback for the third hit to leave more distance between her and the opponent, shifting the skill's identity more toward being a neutral tool. Too well. How do they separate the... Oh, there we go. Launch height has been increased, can now be followed up by a medium third dance attack during the second half of the action. Okay. Eye of Sparrow hits taken during recovery now count as counter hits. Okay. Counter timing has been adjusted from 1 to 10 to 1 to 15. Counter will now hit foes even if they are invincible. Starlit Sky pushback on block for the third hit has been increased. Startup has been reduced by 2 frames for Yu Hanarashi. Change the Nintendo lock combos from far standing H. Recovery on whiff has been increased by 10 frames to 20. Straightforward. Anre. Only universal adjustments were made in this match, but special considerations for Arm the Bastion have been listed below for the detail. Okay. Arm the Bastion with forward U. Hits taken during recovery now count as counter hits. Yeah, so pushback reduced. Pretty sure that's the install, right? Oh yeah, because on the Bastion they made adjustments to parries anyways. 1000 Spear Void, pushback reduce. Alright. Universal adjustments for Eustace. No changes really. Just the pushback on block. 6. No changes. Vira. No changes. Bubz. No changes. Number of hits on block have been reduced from 5 to 3. Pushback of the third hit's been reduced for Chaos Legion. Chaos Legion, I think that's the DP? No, that's the SSBA. Oh. Belial. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no. No. Okay, here we go. I'm scared. Belial is a character equipped with standard skills designed with some twists to create advantage by applying pressure to mix up defensive opponents. In 1.5, we made various adjustments to his skills, but the combination of his normal attacks and skills resulted in him being able to exert much stronger pressure than intended. I really disagree. In order to maintain his explosive potential when outplaying opponents while preventing his neutral gameplay and offense from becoming too dominant, we are making adjustments to both his normal attacks and skills. Oh no! We have increased pushback on block for Crouch M, creating more distance between Belial and the opponent and thereby reducing his pressure potential. Okay. Okay. We have also adjusted Far H so that the opponent no longer enters a guard motion when the first hit activates, making it easier for them to keep distance by stepping back. Okay. Okay. We have reduced the block stun for Heavy Goetia so that Belial is at disadvantage unless he follows up with a everyone's a little crooked, which I think that's just the follow-up calls. Yeah, these are the follow-up calls. Okay. As a result, using everyone's a little crooked as a follow-up to Heavy Goetia now creates a gap that can be interrupted. Light and medium versions remain seamless for a true combo. Okay. Interesting. That'll be interesting. Goetia had also become an overly powerful tool. You've nerfed Belial 2 times straight now! Twice! Providing consistent advantages from any distance, whether on hit or block. To address this, we have adjusted it so that it now travels forward and causes pushback on block, creating more distance between Belial and the opponent as properties remain unchanged upon a successful hit. They didn't really nerf. They nerfed Belial, but not so bad. I agree. This is reasonable to increase the pushback on 2-1. That completely makes sense. Pushback on the first hit has been increased. Foes will no longer enter guard motion after first hit activates. These are very reasonable. Pushback on the second hit has been reduced. Okay, this change is intended to result in the same behavior as before when both hits are combined. So if you block that first one, then you get right back into position with the second one. Okay. Just to be 2 hits on block, frame advantage has also been locked to -4. Yeah. That's just a 5U, isn't it? Block stun's reduced by 4 frames, changing frame advantage from +2 to -4 for Heavy Goetia. Everyone's a little crooked now travels forward, causes pushback on block. Everyone's a little crooked, light, medium follow-up. Block projectiles now travel the same distance as when whiffed. Change is intended to prevent the projectile from stalling overhead. When crouch blocking a Heavy Goetia into medium, everyone's a little crooked. Projectile now disappears immediately on contact. Huh. Grounded hits now force a standing state. Notoria blocks on a third downward hit has been reduced by 3 frames. That's a DP. More punishable. Blocks on a third downward hit has been reduced by 3 frames. So counter hit, more punishable. Wasago. U version. Counter just to be 2 hits on block. Frame advantage, been locked to -4. Avatar Belial, no changes. Alright, so for Belial, it's a massive list, but it actually is not so bad. Belial's still just as strong as he was. He just can't get 2M to 2M for free like he used to. We'll see how much that pushback is. And the 5H Okay, 5H is not that big a deal to lose out on. We're good. We're good. Avatar A.Belial with no changes. Anila, I don't think needs changes. We've reduced the startup time for Anila's heavy flock to the future, making it easier to incorporate into combos from normal attacks at longer ranges. This should increase the distance at which Anila can chain into combos near the corner. To balance the increased return caused by startup change, we've also shortened Anila's rebound distance when blocked, making it easier to punish. And flock to the future. Startup has been reduced by 2 frames to 13. Startup at 4 and beyond has been reduced by 2 frames. That's the jump action right after. Gilded Heaven Strike, pushback reduced. Here it is. Siegfried. Thought this might get some, attention. Siegfried's H and how far? Oh, we're pretty close to the end here. H and U Messenger. Were highly effective invincible skills that were difficult to punish even when anticipated. To balance this, we have adjusted their animations so that they now end at the first hit whiffs. However, the behavior on hit and block remains unchanged. That's crazy. That's going to be really crazy to see. For light, medium, heavy Orchid, the window for punishing the stance cancel was too short. So we have increased its animation by 4 frames. This adjustment increases the risk of punishment upon canceling to offset the reward of landing a follow-up attack. For the light medium versions only, this does not affect situations where the stance is canceled quickly. It only applies when Siegfried fully enters his Orchid stance. Okay. So if you get to putz around a little bit, then you're going to be more punishable. That seemed kind of iffy that you couldn't really catch him. Can no longer combo from far standing L with the heavy and alt version of it. Or the second hit of his sweep. This change reduces their effectiveness as low risk, high reward pokes and neutral. Okay. First hit whiffs. With this change, recovery of the first hit is now 41 frames. And overall animation is 57. Jesus. Startup has been increased by 2 frames, 16 to 18. Tool animation has been increased by 4 frames, 15 to 19. Okay. This does not affect the case where the stance is canceled quickly, though, so keep that in mind. Total animation has been increased by 4 frames, 15 to 19. Startup increase for you, Orchid. All right. Here comes Grimnir. Siegfried got off a little all right. Not too terrible, but more reasonable changes to make it easier to challenge him. This has been a great patch so far. This has actually been a really, really great patch. Grimnir's playstyle is characterized by his combos and movement options involving his Windcrest skill. While he can overwhelm foes with a barrage of attacks under the right conditions, the damage output and SBA gauge increase were sometimes excessively high, and some adjustments have been made to address this. It was Zane's fault. It was all Zane's fault. The utility and strength of U Windcrest, when used as a follow-up to H Winds of Temptation or Void Light Erasure, could result in excessive damage and pressure. To address this, we have adjusted the mechanics so that follow-up actions to these skills performed before landing are now treated as cancels. Scaling their damage output and eliminating the 25 SBA gauge on recovery hit. Interesting. Windcrest will now appear behind the HUD for better visibility of the HP bar and skill icons. Oh, interesting. That's a hard decision to make right there. It's for the better, but also if you forget it's up there, you're kind of screwed. We've also reduced the distance covered by U Death Right Tempest on hit or block by shortening the travel distance from the second hit onward and reducing the pushback on the third hit. The wall bounce effect has been increased to make follow-up attacks more consistent when performed mid-screen. Far H has been increased, recovery increased by 5 frames, changing frame advantage from -9 to -14. Thank God. That's such a difficult button to challenge. Winds of Temptation fixed an issue where landing recovery would differ when used after a clash. Actions taken while falling after activation are treated as cancels, making ultimate skills used before landing behave as the cancel version. Travel distance second hit onward has been reduced. Pushback for the third hit has been reduced. Wall bounce has been increased. Changes intended to minimize differences when performing a follow-up mid-screen. Okay. Actions taken. So it's to help prevent combos being changed all that much. This patch, so I imagine there's going to be another patch shortly after Arc World Tour. It seems like they probably have something in the works for like a 2.01 to push right after Arc World Tour. Actions taken before landing are now treated as cancels on Void Leg Erasure when crest down display behind UI. Nier. Only bug fixes, universal adjustments. Yeah, she does not need anything else anymore. Leave her alone. Lucilius is a character who ramps up. Yeah, this dude definitely needs a small tuning. Who ramps up in strength by raising his blade level through the use of skills to reach his true potential. Although each of his skills has a long cooldown, his blade level would rise even if his skills did not hit a target. This allowed him to focus solely on defense while raising his blade level safely. To address this, we have made adjustments to his blade level mechanic. The increase to blade level now depends on whether a skill hits, is blocked, or whiffs. Okay. If a skill is blocked or whiffs, the amount of blade level gained is halved. Nice. However, the amount gained upon successfully connecting remains unchanged. Okay, yeah, of course. Blade level rise on block whiff, decrease. Rise on hit, not change. Of course. Light Tessera. So, timing for blade level rise has been split into 2 parts. Half on activation and half on reappearance. Okay. Total blade level rise has not been changed. Pushback has been reduced for Axion. Axion control fixed issue where the round time wouldn't stop during cinematic. Pushback EU finisher has been reduced for Axion control finisher. Cool. Not a whole lot, but reasonable touch up. 2B. Don't mess with this character. I'm about that life. Don't mess with her. She ain't that bad. Okay, Volt became a powerful defensive tool. You're so right, though. That could also be used to interrupt gaps in an opponent's attacks, giving it a stronger role than intended. To address this, we've adjusted the skill so that Pond will no longer produce a hitbox if 2B is hit prior to the box generation. Okay. Fair. Vane. Vane, I hope you're buffed, buddy. Let's go. Let's see what we got. Travel distance for low and Vane. Jagged. What? What move is that? Low and being jagged? Why is low and being jagged? That's not what it is. That's the SBA. Making it easier to incorporate into combos even when you are further away from your opponent. I would like to see some buffs for Vane. I think Vane could have used a little bit more. I'm not sure what I would do to Vane. Because I think he's in a fine spot. It's just he's not. He doesn't have a toolkit that's necessarily going to outshine some of the stronger characters. But I think he's in a good spot. his shield play, I think, gets skipped over a lot. So maybe adjustments to shield and how that interacts or how that works. But I think he does great. Yeah. It's just, there are other characters that have toolkits that are better than his. And that's tough to follow up. I would like to see him buff, though. Beatrix. Tell me no changes, dog. Come on. Please. Oh! No changes to Beatrix. Let's go. She's clean. Clean bill of health. She's not a problem. I'm telling y'all, she's not a problem. The players are the problem. Versusia. No changes. Vikala. Last one of the bunch. Deserves buffs. She came out real rough. Here we go. We have reworked Vikala's unique attack, Dream Come True, which previously conjured items at random for her to use. The skill's random nature, so we know, just as an aside, we know from Frosty's there is a UI element to show what her next item is going to be. That's huge. The skill's random nature can make games feel less satisfying, especially when it negatively affected the match. To give players more strategic control over Dream Come True, we've added an icon beneath Vikala's health bar to display which item will appear next. The cheese and heart items now possess a hitbox before reaching the ground. While they don't deal damage, they do inflict hit stun, enabling Vikala to perform follow-up attacks upon connecting. That's pretty big, actually. So, if you happen to accidentally fire cheese, and I'm just booking at you, then I get stopped by the cheese or the heart. That's pretty big. The visibility of the HP bar and skill icons has been improved when placing a cannon in the air with Dream Attraction. That was a problem. Cannons now appear behind the HUD when placed in midair. Travel distance of Gilded Heaven Strike has been increased, making it easier to incorporate into combos even when you are further away from your opponent. What is Gilded Heaven Strike? Is it SPA? Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, Dream Come True. Next item is now previewed as an icon. Damage increased from 800 to 1000 on Cannonball. Damage when fired from cannon also increased. Oh, cool. So she's going to do more damage when it's fired. Same for Bomb. Jeez, she's going to hurt. Number of hits from Spike Ball increased by 2, so from 3 to 5. Hit stun reduced by 2 frames. Change that frame advantage from 8 to 2. Okay. Hold on. Racking my brain now. Weird. I feel like they kind of bounce around on how that is used. Cheese now activates a hitbox while falling after being fired from a cannon. Cheese deals 0 damage but now causes hit blocks or stun. Now it disappears if Vikala is hit while the cheese is falling after being fired from a cannon. So you don't get to heal yourself if she fires off cheese. Really good, really good, really good. So it only gives benefit if it lands to the opponent. Rhythm U now prevents other attacks from being hit after landing the first hit at close range. That's the up DP. Gilded Heaven Strike, travel distance increased. Pushback, first hit has been reduced of Eccentrical Parade to make it easier to punish. And that is patch 2.0 of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. This is a good patch. This is good. But I do feel like of these changes, so Belial got really fair changes. I was definitely worried about it because I still believe he's in a fine spot. Most of his cast is in a very good spot. I think Vane should have gotten a buff. This is a nice nerf to have for Siegfried. It's not detrimental, but it's better for the overall health of the game. The Grimnir change is actually interesting, specifically around the ultimate skill. So that'll be cool. The Lucilius change is only fair. Like, so much of this is just like, oh, that change is only fair. So not a sweeping change, but another tap to the health of the game as we lead into 2.0, as we head into Arc World Tour Finals. This is very much like I feel like this is a placeholder change. So this is a stepping stone. Whatever the next one is, 2.1, 2.01, whatever they do, will be after Arc World Tour. That's when they'll actually do any additional changes that they discover from this iteration of the patch. We probably won't see it until late spring. When's the next character coming out anyway? Yeah, spring. So probably on the Galleon release is when we'll see our next like actual patch. This isn't bad. This is not a bad change. Like it keeps everything comfortable, makes Metera a little more terrifying to deal with at long range. Same for Ferry. Charlotta is now going to be much more manageable to deal with. Not much more, but a little more manageable with the Holy Ladder endings. I'm still kind of miffed about the I feel like Shining Onslaught is a move that could get touched. I'm not the biggest fan of changing Katalina, but also like I understand. It's the same stance that I have for Belial, where I think like those changes are for the better of the health of the game. I think maybe Katalina might have been a little overtuned, but I do like that she had the coast-to-coast carry for you messing up. This is going to be interesting to see. Counter hit now launching foes on Reagan Lave will be fascinating. Don't get counter hit by Fireball. This is a fun patch. I want to double check something now. Now that we're here, we've done this. Sandolphin's on the way. Let me get that video over here. That's right, Sandolphin is on the way. This is the play guide of it though. But before we get into that, feel free to leave in the comments below what you thought about patch 2.0. It seems like a pretty tame patch, I'll be honest. Like, everybody is doing fine. Was there anybody you wish got nerfed more? Anybody you wish got buffed more? Or maybe also share my theory that maybe there's another patch on the way, pretty hot after this one, just to keep in line with Arc World Tour standings, because a lot of this seemed pretty purposeful to make sure that whatever combos players have right now still work. It seems like that's going to be, honestly, just out of the kindness of Side Games, thank you so much, so that we don't have to worry about too many changes going into Arc World Tour Finals. The competitors have been training all year for this, and to throw a monkey wrench into things will be interesting. What's also interesting, Sandolphin is going to be legal at Arc World Tour Finals. So that might shake things up quite a bit, because Sandolphin is a pretty strong character, and we're going to see that in the character guide in just a bit here. But if you saw the video, thank you so much. Again, they will be timestamped. I'm skipping through a lot of timestamps because, well, there wasn't any notes for a lot of characters. So thank you for sticking through until the end. And until next time, everybody, stay happy, stay healthy, and later days. Sorry for the jump scare at the end.